Dealing with a divorce with young children requires some extra steps. It becomes more complicated. We have to make plans and ultimately create a separation agreement and a parenting plan that is more specific to the age of the child and grows with the child or children. We try to create a parenting plan that has shorter parenting time with more transitions between parenting. And what that means is one parent may have the children on Monday and Tuesday, and then there'll be a transition, oftentimes at school or daycare, to the other parent on Wednesday and Thursday. And then there'll be another transition for the weekends. And we try to make it that it works in a seamless manner that's less intrusive on the children. As kids get older, assuming the parties can work together, we try to extend parenting time to often the time where it would be 1 week with one parent and another week with the next parent, and get that even to the point where the kids can pick times with parents and it works in a more fluid manner. Now, this all requires that parents work together in a collaborative manner, keeping in mind what's in the best interest of the children to achieve that result. And at first, when people come to us, there's a lot of emotion and a lot of feelings, and particularly if they're young children, how are we gonna navigate the child rearing years and being with our children? And this is mixed with a lot of emotions, missing of the children and fears and concerns. Is the other parent capable of doing this? What we've found over the years is just because a person may not be a great spouse doesn't mean that they're not gonna be a good parent. They're two very different skills. You can be a really bad spouse and an amazing parent. And we've seen that countless times. And people have always seen that those two skills don't necessarily correlate to each other. Ultimately, the standard that courts use is what's in the best interest of the children, and how do we put together a plan that allows both parents the opportunity to act in the best interest of the children. And we found over the years, for most of our clients, they really do want to act in the best interest of their children. And our style of practicing law and our skill set allows them the ability to be the best parent they have through coming together with a detailed parenting plan that works for all the parties involved. It's very difficult to parse out what is the best interest of the children versus the individual party's needs. And sometimes they're not necessarily the same thing. And the best result are the parents who acknowledge what is in the best interest of the children and moves forward with a plan that allows that to happen. We often encounter this in cases that involve alcohol or drug abuse, where a parent is suffering from alcohol addiction or drug abuse, and they acknowledge they have a problem, and they want to be a parent in their children's lives, and they want to act in the best interest of the children, but that means that they have to learn some self-regulation, they have to get help for themselves, and they have to put together a plan that will gradually gain back the trust of the other parent and the children, putting their needs against or ahead of the party's needs. And an example of that would be through first supervised parenting and then more and more parenting to increase, providing proof that they're sober through the use of, for example, SoberLink, which is a device that you would blow into and it would take your blood alcohol content, and also to prove your sobriety. Then to building on to parenting time. We've had instances that we've suggested that the parent who has a drug or alcohol problem carry an AirTag with them so that the other parent would know where they are. So in conjunction with a SoberLink and the AirTag, it creates a level of comfort that the parent with the alcohol or drug issue is sober, is acting in the best interest of the children, is driving responsibly, and is building that trust. And eventually it would lead to more parenting time, unsupervised parenting time, and eventually back to more of a normal, so to say, relationship. But all of that comes by first finding help for the addiction and the disease that they're suffering from. And unfortunately, that may mean that at first that parent's not getting the amount of parenting time that they otherwise might want. We're fierce advocates for fathers' rights. We often represent fathers in our cases who oftentimes feel like they're not getting what they deserve, that they're not getting the results that they otherwise want. We often represent people that feel that they're underserved by the law. And through our experience and guidance and setting forth the right action plan, we can get those clients what they justly deserve and the outcome that they're looking for. Courts can really level the playing field, and if you can show that you're doing the right thing and acting in the best interest of the children, you're gonna get a great result. It just takes some time to do it. If you're a father facing divorce, what you need to do is think about what's in the best interest of your children. Listen to your children's needs and be there for them, and help them through this process as you're there for them. Attend your child's games. Attend your child's events. Have parent-teacher conferences. Know who your child's pediatrician is, and have a relationship with the caregivers of your children. All of those things are going to ensure that you get the best outcome in your case and get the most parenting time possible. The biggest fears that moms come to us with are the ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband who was a terrible husband might also be a terrible father. And those two skills are very different. Another fear that moms often have is that the father is not gonna pay attention to the children, that the parent or the father is going to allow the iPad to be the babysitter. A lot of fears that mothers have is that the father is not gonna have the ability to focus on the children and determine what those children's needs are and to be able to fulfill those needs. Instead, they're gonna be busy working, or they're gonna be busy on the phone, or doing the things that they otherwise want to do, and that the father is not gonna rise to the occasion of being a good father, a positive role model, and to be an active parent. The key to being successful as a father is being an active parent in your child's life. The key to getting through a divorce without causing long-term damage to your children is going to be to working collaboratively with your spouse to, as surgically as possible, get through this divorce process, to collaboratively keep lines of communication open so that as issues arrive, you can work together to get through them. Now, this is incredibly difficult for two people who are filled with big emotions, who have gone through this tragedy together, whose relationship is now broken, to now have to be joined to each other through these children to come up with the best possible parenting plan they can. And what we always explain to our clients, I tell my clients all the time, be an Academy Award-winning actor. Be, quote, sweet as pie to the other person. If you can be an Academy Award-winning actor and sweet as pie to the other person, you can set aside your differences, you can forget about the past, focus on the future, keeping your children's best interest in mind, and plot a parenting plan that works for the two of you by keeping communication lines open and thinking about what's in my kid's best interest. Every action you do should be in your kid's best interest. And if you do that and you follow those steps, you're going to be able to get through the divorce process and lead a future life that doesn't mess up your kids and helps you to develop a great relationship with not only your children, but perhaps even your ex. We've helped hundreds of clients over the years to get the outcome that they're really looking for. If you follow our process and you work with us and follow the instructions so that we can collaboratively come up with a parental parenting plan that works for you and your family, you'll have the best possible outcome. We've seen this time in and time out that following the instructions, following the process we've put forward will give you the best possible outcome.